I kind of came up with, I think, like 5 different reasons that imposter syndrome really comes up for a lot of people. And I want to cover those reasons. The first thing that actually causes imposter syndrome for people is if you're just new or you don't have experience. When coaches are just getting started and they have their first clients, of course you're going to have imposter syndrome. You're going to be like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if my clients can get results. Do I know what the heck I'm talking about, right? All of that's going to come up, and it's completely normal. That certainly came up for me when I first started personal training. It came up for me again when I opened my boot camp and I, wanted to help middle-aged women lose weight. It came up for me again when I started doing business coaching in the fitness industry. And then it came up for me again when I was starting Authentic Conversion. And I was like, okay, I've built and sold a successful brick and mortar business. I have done fitness business coaching, working for another company for 3.5 years, but now this is me. It's my product. Am I enough? Is what I know enough? Is it good enough? Is it going to work for people? Is it going to get them results? Anytime you're doing something new for the first time, whether you're completely new to business and coaching, or you're just doing things differently from how you've done them before, imposter syndrome is a real thing, right? And it's just a reflection of your lack of experience because you don't have the evidence yet that you can create the thing that you are wanting to create or that you're telling people that you can help them create for themselves. Another thing that I see consistently bring up imposter syndrome is lack of personal worth and value. Lack of personal worth and value in the context that I'm talking about is where you don't have enough, perhaps experience, but it could be something else, to where you feel like people should pay you good money to work with them because you're new. And you see like a lot of newer coaches or people who are, creating new programs and delivering services in a different way, like I was talking about before. You see them really like slash prices and underprice themselves and undercharge for services. And that's really a result of that imposter syndrome. Anytime you're doing something new or different, that personal worth, that value, that am I qualified? Do I know enough? Like all of it comes up because we are humans. Now, another thing, and this is similar to the last one, but slightly different. Another thing that I think brings up a lot of imposter syndrome for people is just money mindset and perceptions about money. For a lot of people, when they think about charging $1,000 plus for their services, it brings up all of that imposter syndrome. And I think part of it actually has to do with how we perceive money, how we perceive selling, how we perceive money exchanges between us and a potential client. And I know I used to think to myself, oh my gosh, like I don't want to take money from people. And I had these beliefs that if I took from someone, that somehow they would have less, or that it made me bad, or that it made me greedy, or it made me something that I didn't want to be. And so you want to just investigate, what thoughts are you creating around money mindset, perception when it comes to actually accepting money for your services. And so you just have to remember the value of the problem that you're helping people solve. And that can, over time, start to shift that money mindset. The next ones, there's 2 more I want to talk about, is I hear this all the time from coaches where they feel like they are not good enough. They're not perfect enough to help other people. Right? So I have had a lot of coaches work with me over the years who are in progress with their own journeys. We get this idea that as a coach, we have to have all the answers and we have to be perfect ourselves and we have to lead by example and all of that. And yeah, I think we should be practicing what we preach, but we're also humans and we can't be perfect all the time. No one necessarily wants or needs a perfect coach. And in fact, if you are so perfect, it can actually be a detractor for some people because they feel like, oh my gosh, this girl, this guy, they've just got it together so much. They don't struggle. They're not going to understand me. And that's not necessarily true because there are many coaches who are in great shape. And then there are other coaches who are still in their journey. And the people that you are right for, your soulmate clients, don't care whether or not you're still in progress. They don't care whether or not you still have some of the same struggles as they do. And in fact, they will often appreciate that you have some of those same struggles because, again, it makes you more relatable. You get to be on the journey together, which is a really, really powerful thing. So yes, are there some online coaches that are like quote unquote perfect, super lean, whatever? Yes, of course. And are there many who aren't? Absolutely. Does one person's lack of perfect body disqualify them from being able to help someone else? Absolutely not, you guys. So if you are in judgment of yourself where you're like, you know what, I just don't think I'm there. Like, how are people going to trust me? How are they going to believe that I can help them get results? It's not about you. Okay. Stop making it about you. It is about them. Now, the last one that I just want to touch on is this whole idea of comparison. They always say comparison is the thief of joy, but we do it all the time anyway. We are constantly comparing ourselves. And that is simply not useful. It's not practical. It's not good. And the thing is, there's people who have been doing what you want to do for many more months, many more years. Not everyone is at the same place in their journey. So comparing yourself and your ability to help people get results and your experience and literally anything that you are doing that makes you feel less than, that brings up that imposter syndrome for you, and where you're comparing yourself to other people, none of that is helpful, none of it's useful, and none of it's actually like even relevant if you actually think about it. Just remember that if you're comparing yourself to other people, it's a useless task. There's 0 point in it unless your lives are complete mirrors of the other person every step of the way, every moment that led you to where you are. Comparing yourself is completely a useless task, okay? So my friends, I hope that this is helpful, because I know, again, I still go through bouts of imposter syndrome, especially when I'm kind of growing myself and challenging myself to reach a next level or to serve already high earning clients. And so many things can bring it up for me. And the goal of today is simply to normalize this experience that you might be having, and just know that it's not something you correct once and it disappears forever. It's probably going to come up for you repeatedly. So I would love for you to let me know how this resonates. I would love for you to let me know if this is helpful. If you've had imposter syndrome, you can let me know over in my free Facebook group, Authentic Conversion, Organic Six-Figure Fitness Business. And I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.